WAC Fast Break Extra. I'm Kendra Sheehan. We have a very special guest joining us, Dominique Daniels Jr. from California Baptist, the senior guard. And Dom, I'll start with the weekend that you guys had over Thanksgiving, the Holiday Invitational. Over 3 games, you averaged 26 points. Tell me a little bit about why you were so successful across those 3 days.
I was just mainly just locking in on what I need to do in order to help my team win. It's been almost 10 months since I haven't played a basketball game since I got hurt, so I'm just trying to get back in the rhythm of things. And I feel like I'm slowly finding my rhythm within these past few games. So I'm just trying to do what's best for my team in order for us to win.
Yeah, you mentioned that season-ending injury that cut a phenomenal junior season of yours short, and coming back from that injury and getting the opportunity to play basketball again, does it give you a different perspective each and every time that you step on the court, knowing that last year, the game got taken away from you?
Yeah, it's definitely a different perspective, especially if you're sitting out and watching the game versus you being in the game and playing the game. So sitting out, you get a different feel and you see different things that you probably wouldn't have seen on the court before. So it's definitely a different feel and a different IQ for the game.
And we've definitely talked about the growth that you've been able to make just by having that opportunity to be on the sidelines and watch more film and see things. Where do you feel like you are better now post-injury as you're now 9 games into the start of this season?
I definitely feel like I'm definitely better with the leadership role on my team, and then being able to find my teammates open when I need to, and then being able to score when I need to. I feel like I've definitely gotten a lot better with that as well.
You look at the game against Fresno State, you gifted your fans to a double overtime thriller. And we'll go back to the 35-foot jumper that you hit to send the game to the initial overtime. Take us through what was going through your mind as you knew that you had one opportunity, and of course, you sink the 35-foot jumper.
So I'm gonna be completely honest right now. I was just trying to get the shot up at the end of the day. I didn't even look at the clock. I just pulled the shot and it felt good when it left my hand, and thankful God that it went in. So yeah, I'm just happy that it went in.
And obviously a play like that deserves a celebratory moment because it was so good. But then you have to re-lock back in because you have another overtime, obviously 2 overtime periods. So how were you able to, celebrate in that moment with the teammates, but then re-lock in and get ready for overtime?
Um, I would say I didn't celebrate too much because I knew we had to go into overtime. So I was just trying to keep my guys locked in on what we needed to do in order to get the win. And then eventually we got the dub in double OT. So we were just locked in for those extra 10 minutes of the game. We just kept each other locked in at the end of the day.
In that second overtime period, it was the Coleman and Daniels show. You guys accounted for the 12 points in that period. How were you guys able to turn on that next gear and be able to finish what was a grueling long game?
It's our conditioning, really. We do a lot of conditioning. We get up and down. So I feel like our conditioning definitely outlasted, definitely in that game, for sure. I don't think we really got tired. We didn't really get tired till after the game was over. So we just have to push through any adversity that we were feeling in the moment.
What is the dynamic between you and Kendall Coleman and being so potent for this offense and having the ability to just score numerous points and put your team in a position to come away with a double overtime win?
K. Cole, that's my brother. We definitely, when each other are not doing what we need to do, or we're not playing at the standard we feel like each other should be playing at, we definitely hold each other accountable. I feel like that's the main thing that me and him do very well. We tend to hold each other accountable, make sure everybody's on the right track, make sure we're all trying to reach that standard, just playing the way we play at the end of the day. So I think that we do that very well.
Of course, you have the big Thanksgiving Invitational, and now you had about a 10-day break in between your next game. So over this span, what were some of the big focus points for head coach Rick Croy on things he wanted to clean up now that you're 9 games in?
Just being better defensively, being a better communicating team, just being able to play together as a unit and compete as a unit. Like we have a lot of competitive guys on the team, but we're just learning how to win and then be competitive as a unit.
And when you look at this team, and we talked on Media Day, I know, and there were a lot of new pieces, a lot of returners, but now that you've had these games under your belt, from your perspective, what do you like about this group of guys that you're rolling with for the year?
This group of guys, they're not afraid of the work. At the end of the day, whatever challenge the coaches put in front of us, at the end of the day, we're just gonna get the job done. We're gonna do our best to do the work. At the end of the day, that's really what matters. We just want to get better. So that's pretty much what it is.
And, you know, through this non-conference slate, you get to learn a lot about your team, usually to prepare yourself for the conference slate. And so what are some of the things that this team has learned about themselves through this first half of the non-conference slate?
Just learning our roles, I guess you could say, on our team, knowing what we need to do, knowing what we're good at, and knowing what each other are capable of. I feel like we believe in each other and what abilities that we have on this team. And then it's just the getting better factor. Like we just want to get better each and every day, each and every practice, whether it's film or whether we're on the floor. We just continue to want each other to get better.
Now, nobody's playing their best basketball right now. You obviously want to kind of peak towards March. When this team will be at their best, I mean, what is the ceiling for this group when everything comes together?
I feel like the sky's the limit, really. Once everything comes together, once we're really locked in on what we need to do as far as the rest of the season, I feel like the sky's the limit at the end of the day because we have a really talented team. We have a hardworking team. So I feel like that's going to play a factor in everything as well.
Now, I know when we talked at Media Day, you were just itching to get back on the floor for an actual game day. And now that you've had that, take me through what that first game back was like. I'm sure a lot of nerves, obviously a lot of excitement, but just getting a chance to put on that jersey and play in an actual game.
It felt good being out on the floor again, especially for my first game in my senior year. It felt really good. It was definitely a lot of nerves, but at the end of the day, I was just trusting in the work that I had put in with my rehab and just being able to trust my knee the way that I do now. So I feel like, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get better. But it was definitely a surreal feeling just to be back on the floor for sure.
And not only you get back on the floor, but now you're the WAC's leading point scorer right now. And so how were you able to jump back into gameplay coming off a season-ending injury like that and just jump right in and be the top of the WAC leaderboard?
At the end of the day, that's just me just trusting in God and just believing what He says about me. Being able to trust in the Lord, I feel like that's definitely a very high aspect in my life. Just being able to trust what He instilled in me and the light that He put in me. So I feel like me trusting in Him and me just leaning and depending on Him definitely plays a huge role in that.
And when you get back on the floor, I know that we talked before about one of your favorite parts is putting on the jersey and inspiring those younger kids who look up to you. Was there a moment this season that, that kind of moment happened for you as fans were just as excited to see you on the floor for California Baptist as probably you were?
Yeah, it was definitely after one of our games. I feel it was a lot of like young kids wanting to take pictures, wanting me to sign autographs. So I feel like that was definitely one of the highlights of the season so far. As far as like being around the younger kids, it was a lot of kids after that game. So that was a surreal feeling for sure.
Does CBU offer you the opportunity to have Daniels jerseys that kids can wear? Is that an option yet for you?
Yeah, that's definitely an option for sure.
Have you seen any kids rocking them?
Yeah, I've seen some kids, some people, some fans rocking them for sure.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for joining as you did have a bit of a break, but you'll take on San Diego State. That's Wednesday, December 11th on the road. Best of luck and can't wait to catch up soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you for having me.